I'm Elizabeth Battaglia. I'm Executive Vice President at TOMI Environmental Solutions.
Well, my name is Ben Flyr. At TOMI, I'm the Director of Training and Implementation.
When I heard about the reemergence of Ebola in Liberia, I was really sad. They've worked so hard as a country for so long and had such a run of success. It just goes to show that this is a disease that is new. We've never had such a high survival rate to understand how it will reemerge within people 6 months, 8 months, a year after they've been declared Ebola free.
I think on a bigger scale, just having been to Liberia, that made the whole reemergence of Ebola much more personal. And then certainly being at the ETU where the patients that are, that have now been diagnosed with Ebola, where they're being housed and treated, that made it, much more personal because, we met every single person that works there. The night after I got back from Liberia, my phone was going through the night with a Liberian number, but it wasn't a number that I knew. And a lot of people ended up with my business card while I was over there, so I thought it might be somebody just, calling to say hi or something, and it was the middle of the night, and I was going to wait until morning. But I woke up to an email from Jolene Mullins of PCI. She's the head of country for PCI, which is Project Concern International. That's the NGO that we work with directly. And she had been notified by a gentleman who works in infection prevention and control for WHO, and he oversees infection control at JFK Hospital in Monrovia. And he contacted her to see if I was still in the country with the equipment because they had a patient who had tested positive and they wanted us to come over and decontaminate. And Jolene let him know that I had already left, but also that our equipment was still at the PCI warehouse waiting to be shipped over. And so Jolene had tried to contact me to see if one of the people that I had trained could come and use the equipment. And by the time I got the message and got back to Jolene, she had taken matters into her own hands, basically, and contacted Halreen Demi, who was with us all 35 days that I was on the ground there. So she knew how to use the equipment. She paid very close attention, and she went to the PCI office and picked up our surface unit and went to JFK, and they dressed her up in the PPEs, and she basically ran the show.
Although our entire team had already left Liberia the day before this happened, some people from the World Health Organization who were familiar with our project there knew that they actually didn't even know we had left, and they called our local contact and said, can the TOMI team come over and decontaminate the JFK hospital where this patient was initially admitted before he became a confirmed Ebola case and were moved over to the ETU. So even though we had already left, our local staff person who had worked with us for 35 days, Halreen, she went and put on PPE. She went and got all the equipment. She had been trained. She had seen us doing all of the work. And she took the equipment to the JFK hospital and she used it to decontaminate the hospital room that the 15-year-old initial patient had been in, the bathroom, and 5 wheelchairs that he had been pushed around in throughout the hospital. And her account of it is really amazing, and I appreciate her so much because apparently she went in and she was telling them that they had not done a good enough pre-clean and that they needed to go, and I guess there were some half-used cups on the floor by this hospital bed. And so she went in and was like, well, I'm going to follow all the protocols that I've been taught, and we need to pre-clean this room before I can go in and do the stair mist.
I was very proud of her, how she handled it. She made sure that she was safe, which is of great concern to us as the person operating the equipment, before she went in and made sure the room was safe for everybody else.
So introduce yourself.
I'm Halreen Demi,
And what are you doing with TOMI?
I'm working on a team with TOMI as a local consultant, working with TOMI.
And what do you think about Steremis decontamination chambers?
I think Steremis decontamination is the best thing for Liberia, and we all hope that this will be approved by USAID or WHO also.
And what are the funniest things that Ben, Reed, and Elizabeth have done?
So many things. The most recent one was we went to town, Waterside, to get some fabrics, and on our way back, they said, "Oh, I'm boring. I don't want to sit in a hotel." And Ben was like, "Just drop us off, and then you and Liz can get back." So it was actually funny. Yeah.
Good. And what do you think that Liz, Ben, and Reed should do before we leave Liberia for sure?
I think and nothing extra. They have actually been doing their best. They have been very supportive. They have been doing very well, excellently well. So I think before they leave Liberia, it's appropriate that we take maybe one photo as a team before they leave.
Good.
Yeah.